If you've ever wondered what it's like to date a Latin woman, then you've come to the right place because I've been single for a little bit over 4 years now, and I was married for 20 years, and I've dated a lot of ethnicities, and I'm going to do a series on what it's like to date a variety of ethnicities. And in this video, in no particular order, I'm going to list all the things and what it's like, actually really like to date a Latin woman, okay? And like I mentioned, if you've never dated a Latin woman before, then this video is exactly for you. And I'm going to go over all the things and what it's like to date a Latin woman. And stick around for my other videos because I'm going to show what it's like to date other ethnicities. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys and the women that want to understand them. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification button because I'm dropping videos every week. Woo! Okay, but first, I want to let you guys know that very soon I am launching a clothing line, and that clothing line is going to be called Silver is Sexy. Yeah. And I'm going to have a few products to start, actually 6 in total. But right now on my website, I only have 2, and I don't have them with me right now. But the 2 products specifically I want to talk about for a minute is one, a cowboy hat. And unlike any cowboy hat you've ever seen, this is super cool, 100X beaver felt. And take a look at the link in the description to learn more about that and see the photos, as well as a Cafe Racer inspired motorcycle jacket. Both products are absolutely fantastic. And for my first 100 customers, I'm giving 20% off of the pricing. Again, you can take a look at the link in the description, as well as the coupon code, which is going to be VIP100 to get 20% off of these 2 absolutely fantastic products. All right, back to this video. Okay, so if you're wondering what it's like to date Latin women, getting into it right now. Okay, all right, quick backstory. I was married before 20 years, and my ex-wife was Colombian, South America Colombian. But she was kind of an exception because even though she grew up in the United States, and there's a lot of Latin women, United States, I meant Canada. Even though there's a lot of Latin women that grow up in a different country, they still maintain those things that make them a Latin woman. So she was an exception. But since then, I have dated other Latin women, and I'm going to get into this in, again, no particular order, but these are all the things that I've discovered and what it's like to date a Latin woman, okay? First of all, they are loud, okay? They talk loud, and they like loud music. So if higher volume is not your thing, I do not suggest dating Latin women because they are very expressive. Again, like I said, their volume in their voice is higher, and they like loud music. They are always ready to party. And even I've got one of those salsa drum things, and they like banging that thing. And just in general, they are loud. Okay, food. Latin women love tacos and chicken wings, okay, just to name a couple things. They absolutely, when it comes to alcohol, they love tequila. Tequila is their go-to, and they also like beer. And I'm generalizing, but these are just some of the things, high-level things that I'm picking out for the purposes of this video, okay? They like to dress sexy. That's a big thing. Why? Because in their home country, they got to compete. And the women, there's no secret, the women in these Latin countries are beautiful, and they got to compete with other women. So they dress a little more on the provocative side. And if that's not your thing, then Latin women are probably not ideal for you to date. Next, again, I'm generalizing. They are mostly cool with guns and hunting. So if you're into guns, you're into hunting, a Latin woman might be a good fit for you because they don't give a shit that you're into that, okay? Most of them are Christian. When I say Christian, they are Catholic specifically, all right? No secret. Almost every single woman that is Latin, I think I only met one Latin woman that didn't know how to dance. When I say dance, they know how to dance salsa, merengue, bachata, whatever. They know how to dance, and they love dancing. So if you don't know how to dance, then one of the ways that you can meet Latin women is by joining a salsa club and going dancing. And even if you don't meet anyone when you're doing that, just knowing how to dance, and you end up going to one of these Latin clubs and she sees you, you're a gringo, you're a white guy, American guy, just white or any ethnicity other than Latin, and you all of a sudden have some salsa chops, woo, she's going to love that. All right, music. I don't know a single Latin woman that doesn't like Bad Bunny. Okay, Bad Bunny is your go-to. Karol G, these artists, okay, they also love old school hits. I'm talking old school salsa, old school reggaeton. All right, Latin women are usually obsessed with their hair. I'm talking they take pride in their hair typically, their lashes, their nails, their lips, their pedicures, manicures. They are very feminine. All right, they also can be into getting their boobs done, doing BBL surgeries. I'm not saying all of them, but they want to look feminine and they embrace their femininity, okay? They also are 304 friendly. If I'm saying that right, 304? Anyways, I'm not up on all the weed terminology, but they love weed, okay? Doesn't matter if it's a vape pen, smoking joints, they love their weed. Latin women also love dogs, all right? They are street smart. So if you end up going to one of these countries and they're with you or they live there, oh yeah, they are street smart. They know how to survive, make money on their own. They, in terms of street smart, they are sometimes not the cleanest, all right? So I don't know. Again, I'm just generalizing. So they may not be as particular as you are in terms of dusting and keeping things super immaculately clean. But again, I'm just generalizing from my experience of dating and even my ex-wife. When I say cleaning, they could be a little rough around the edges. So when I say rough around the edges, they may not have any issues eating with their fingers, even if they were bringing some firewood to the fire pit and then they're all of a sudden digging into some chicken wings without washing their hands, okay? But hey, that could be a good thing, okay, that they don't mind getting their hands dirty, if you know what I mean. They can have a hot temper. Not all, but a lot of them, if you piss them off, watch out. Okay, the saying goes, a spicy Latina. Well, the spice, that's the fire in them, so they can have a hot temper. They usually like a strong alpha man or perceived alpha, the guy who takes charge. He makes plans. He says, this is what we're doing on this day. This is where we're going to eat. This is where we're going to go. That's what they're used to. Here's an example of strong men and alpha. One time with my ex-wife, I was in Colombia, South America, and her brother-in-law was on the back of a motorcycle because her cousin, female cousin, had the motorcycle, had her license, and of course is riding the motorcycle in Colombia. He's sitting on the back. She was across the street and she saw two little girls laughing and talking amongst each other, and they were laughing at him, pointing and saying, ha ha ha, look at him, he's on the back of the motorcycle. So they even want the guy to drive the car, to drive the motorcycle. They are expecting you as a man to be a man and do the manly things in terms of traditional roles, okay? Latin women can also be a little on the jealous side. So watch out for that. If all of a sudden some girl shows up in your phone and it's a text, she's probably looking over there and she might even ask you, who's that? Okay, be prepared. They ultimately prefer to date Latin men, okay? Just putting it out there. Now, why is because the Latin men speak Spanish and they're familiar with the culture. They know how to dance, all these things. I understand. So just know that she's going for you because you're different. You're a different vibe. You give her peace. You give her security. Maybe you have more money in general. But underlying, they ultimately would prefer a guy who knows more about their culture and can speak Spanish and especially can dance as well. And last but not least, watch out for this because a lot of Latin women are sugar babies. Yep. I've seen many YouTubers talk about women in Colombia, and most of them do some kind of form of sex work. And I'm not so familiar with that, but dating in the United States and dating in Canada, you will come across a lot more Latin women that want to be taken care of. Again, as I mentioned earlier about the traditional roles, and expect the guy to pay for things, and that kind of is there's an area there where they also get into kind of sugar type relationships. So hope you like this video. I want to hear from you guys in the comments though. What other nationalities do you want me to talk about in terms of what it's like to date certain women? All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.